excited that you're all here. You've made time to take part in this seminar. It's actually the first of our webinar series on Move Secure. We're passionate about Move Secure because we know kind of the benefits that it actually accrues to users across both buyers and sellers. Now, just to introduce who we are as Insano. So Insano is actually a fintech solutions provider. We provide financial technology solutions to organizations, businesses, and governments. And that's really because payment transactions are a passion. You just tell us what problem you have when it comes to payments, and we will have a solution for you. If we don't have it already, our team is very capable of rolling out a new solution for you in no time. Now, why are we here? The webinar series is designed to engage our various service providers and customers across targeted sectors in Ghana. The objective is to encourage sharing best practices. Today's or you're an everyday customer, you are involved in payments. And at some point, I'm sure that each of us here has experienced a challenge with making payments. Even when they made it, that they felt insecure about how much they had paid, or even how it had been paid versus what they had received. So this is one of the discussions where we will educate ourselves about, how to make the best of the payment ecosystem that we have currently in Ghana. We will not take more than an hour of your time, and we request that you relax and enjoy this webinar. So we'll introduce our panelists. I'll start with Ohiming Owari Jr., who's data god. We're very happy that you're here. His specialty is 3D design. And his clientele ranges from Bola Ray, Mr. Easy, DJ Neptune, Kojo Entry, and even Bernard Collingon. We also have Clement Neodai of Red Systems, who's really into corporate branding and font design. And Clement is also very, very experienced. He's really into, the corporate space, so Waterpark Sports, Diesel Tech, Coin Plus, Ghana and Beyond, and so many other services, so many other clients. We have Bernard Johnson, who's the CEO for Rochard Graphics. They're into motion design. Now, if you're here and I'm sure you're looking for such solutions or even mentorship or some sort of partnership, we do have the right variety for you here. Our fourth panelist is Prince Asamoah of Ring Studio. Prince brings a rather interesting variety of skills to the table. He's into photography and into graphic design as well. Now, one of his clients is actually Daewoo. So we're very privileged to have this panel, rich panel of individuals and business owners. Gentlemen, you're welcome. I think the one feedback that we will take on board in this discussion is next time we would make sure we have some more variety and some more diversity in our panelists. So, gentlemen, you're welcome. We'll just get straight to the point. There's a question for each of you, just so you can introduce yourself to us. And we'll start with Ohiming. So, tell us, how did you decide to become, a graphic designer?
Hello, everyone. Good evening to you all. I am that art god, and how I became a graphic designer. It's actually a very funny story. So I was in SHS, and I was in the SRC, and we were coming to have an event. And unfortunately, we were unable to find a designer to design the flyer for the event. And it was getting to reopening. We had to hype the event and all that. So I decided to pick up a machine and then do something with it, because none of the other people involved were very serious about it. So I just downloaded a picture online, wrote some text on it, and then, we sent it out. The feedback was good, and, they were like, it's nice. And my head was getting big and all that. So I decided to, like look further into it, because before that um, I actually do art, like hand art and stuff like that. So I was interested in art and design, but it never occurred to me that design would be something I would be interested in, especially in terms of using the computer and all that. So after that, I started to learn more about the software, and yeah, this is where the journey has led me. So yeah, that's how I became a graphic designer.
Fantastic story. I'm sure you're hitting a number of nerves in this meeting room. Thank you very much for that very frank description. We'll move on quickly to Clement Neodai. Thank you very much, Ohime.
All right, you're welcome.
So Clement, tell us, how did you decide to become a graphic designer?
So mine is also very funny. Like I fell in love with design because of the stuff I saw, like all these cool party flyer posters and like all these flyer stuff I was seeing around. That made me fall in love with design. I was like, wow, I want to do something like this. So I went to the YouTube and I started watching some tutorials and then now I'm
Sorry,
here.
Clement, I think there's some background music.
Okay, is it my hello?
Yes, we can. It's better now. It's better now. Thanks.
Yeah, like I was saying, like it all started with the stuff I was seeing around, like all these party flyers for events and stuff. Or like, yeah, very nice, they're very interesting. I want to start doing something like this. And so I head to YouTube and then I started watching tutorials and then yeah, I never really went to school to do art or any stuff. I just decided to follow the passion.
Wow, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I think I'm hearing passion quite a lot. And this is the second time. Thanks a lot, Clement, and you're welcome to the panel. So, Bernard, if you're around, can you please tell us your story? Bernard, if you can unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, Bernard. Great.
Okay. So my name is Bernard Johnson, popularly known as Roshan. And art itself, as my brother said, sometimes it starts in a funny way. I was supposed to be at a pharmacy, which my uncles own. When I finished school, I did junior art, but me personally, I hate anything that makes me touch pencil, anything. I even hate construction. I hate anything art. I didn't really have interest in even holding pencils. So there was this time when I finished school, I just wanted to work. I don't want to be a liability. So my mom asked me to write an application letter. He wanted me to send it to my uncle who was in pharmacy. So on our way, we went to a typing pool. But then um, there were a lot of people around. Then the place was choked. So I told them that I can type. They should let me just do it fast and just leave the place. Then I sat behind the machine and started typing something. That is when my mother looked at me, it's like, I think you're really good at this. Let me ask the manager if there's a vacancy here, then you stay here, because I really love computers. So I started as a typist. Then during my time working at that place, people came around with CorelDRAW software and stuff. Then I grew interest, especially when I'm printing for them. I just like to explore a lot. Then I started using Office Word to design things, and I was getting the 10 CDs and the 20 CDs. Then it was really John was like, oh, this really brings money. Let me actually explore more. So basically, the start was more of a hustle, because I realized that it was bringing money, and my whole aim is not to be a liability. So if this is paying, let me go in. So around this journey that I really grew interest. I started as a graphic designer, then I moved to motion design, which I'm now on at the moment. So that's how it is. That's how it started. That's how it ended.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you very much, Bernard. How about you, Prince? Okay, so it's really, really, really good to hear from all three of you, and I'm happy that we've started on this note because it tells us that you're really willing and ready to share. Now, let's just dig straight to the questions. The good thing is a number of us have asked a lot of questions, and we are very willing and keen to go through these notes that we would definitely visit it at some point. Now, this is a question to the three of you. Have you gotten any jobs through social media before, or perhaps, I mean, through referrals? I'd ask. I think, Clement, I'll give this to you to answer first.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple of gigs from Facebook.
I see, mainly Facebook, huh?
Yeah, mainly Facebook.
How about you, Desflo?
Yeah, Instagram most of the time. Yeah, Instagram and referrals.
Oh, I see. Interesting. And Ohime, that's how
I have a lot of them. Even the Mr. Easy one was from social media, from Instagram.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Ghana today. Ideal client. Describe who your ideal client is to all of us, just so we understand who you look out for. Desflo.
Okay, so basically my ID client is someone who understands that I'm not working for him or her, but I'm working with him or her. So basically, it's more like we being in a room together and understanding that we are helping each other solve his problem. Not he just hiring me to solve his problem, but also he helping me understand his problem more and solving it for him or her. So basically, it's a client who knows that I'm not working for him, but I'm working with him. Yeah, that's my definition of an ideal client.
All right. Yeah, that's a good one. Thanks. How about you, Ohiming?
Yeah, I think my ideal client is also similar to what my brother Roshan said. A client that understands that I am working with him to solve the problem, not just me solving the problem for him. Perhaps, if a client wants me to solve the problem entirely on my own, they pay more for it. So my ideal client is one that works with me to solve the problem and not pile the work on me to do alone. And in addition to that, the client must also be one who understands the worth of work that he is coming in for, not one that doesn't know anything about the work and comes to do a lot of allo things.
like that. I like that. You know, I like the openness that we have in this forum. And you've actually said something very interesting that I'd like to uh, dwell on. It's about pricing and what the customer is willing to pay. Now, what influences your pricing? Good. You want to start?
Yeah, a lot of things influence the pricing. Generally, there's a range of prices for each set of work that I do, but some certain things that influence the pricing is the scope of work, like how involving is the work, what kind of work it is, and um, yeah, basically what kind of work it is, the scope of work, the deadline, the time the client wants the work to be done, and all that. Those things influence the price.
Nice, nice. Bernard, what do you
Yeah,
have to tell us? What kind of client do you look out for? But I think you mentioned something very interesting that I wanted to tap into. You talked about the client viewing you as a partner.
sure.
So tell us what goes into your pricing.
So when it comes to my pricing, like my brother said, the deadline first is what I look at, whether it's I'm supposed to deliver on my normal time, my normal turnaround time, or basically supposed to be an express job. It plays a major role. Also, I look at the gravity of the problem. I make sure I understand the problem. Then I also scale the satisfaction that client is going to get when this problem is solved. And most importantly, too, I also charge the client sometimes, not really the job. So depending on the nature of the client and knowing how well the job or the problem, when I solve it, the satisfaction that's going to come, these are some of the things that actually influences my price, apart from the deadline and any other stuff. These are some of the things that actually influences my price.
Good stuff. How about you, Clement?
Alright, so my ideal client should be someone that really knows what he or she wants. No, a client that will be like, I want a logo with the S like this and let's say a do on top of the S and later on you like, no, change it, like I want to see the board and you're like, no, you want to change here, change something small here, change something small there. You know, I just don't like working with such people, people who are not precise, people who don't know what they want. And then what influences my pricing? It's normally the scope of your work, the time frame, and sometimes the person I'm working with. You know, sometimes like people come to me, they are startups, they're not starting something, and you don't expect to charge them the same price as you're going to charge someone who is already in business and making more money, or someone is going to be making more money from the artwork you are going to do for him or her. Because my field is more of logo designs and branding. So mostly startups that come to me, and so I look at the scope of work and how the time frame when they need the logo design, and I charge based on that.
Nice stuff. So, I mean, team, I hope that we're all, I mean, we're all enjoying and understanding how some of these, guys think and how some of these service providers think. It's important because, I'm sure a lot of us are also looking to start out or become like them, and we can at least gauge how to become the right kind of animation person or the right kind of corporate branding specialist or consultant. Now, it's pricing a hot knob because each of you are really speaking about how customers like to like their things and how that influences your work. Is pricing a hot knob for you? desk floor.
So let me get it very clear. When you say hot snob, do you mean a problem?
You got that right. You got that right.
Okay. So obviously price is the most crucial aspect of our job. We know our job. Okay, we understand our job. The hardest thing that happens is a client's willing to pay for the job. Okay, so I see even pricing as the most crucial aspect of our jobs. It's the most crucial aspect of our most headaches as designers is the pricing, like as in how clients reach you with your payments and stuff, legalities and all of the stuff. It's really a problem. It's a big one. Though it's dependent on from designer to designer. To me, it's not really much of a problem because of my personal policies that I have, which is very rigid, this or no, but I think to a lot of people, we cannot dispute the fact that it's a problem. It's really a big problem.
And so, I mean, seeing how much of a problem this is, Clement, can you tell us how you go about pricing, your pricing issue? I assume this is the same for you.
Yeah. So what I normally do is take probably 70% upfront before I start something. I actually start something on paper. Because like in Africa, there's this trust issue that we normally have. No one is willing to pay you. No one is willing to pay you before you do something for them. They want to see the thing before they would actually give you the money. And they might end up not paying you after you deliver the service to them. Understand? So normally I normally charge 70% upfront before I start. I lose the 70. I lose the 30%. It's okay, at least I know I have something to hold on to.
Interesting you say that, but I mean, with stuff these days, I know that a lot of people like this, thing about seeing what you have for them before they pay you. How does that work for you?
I didn't really get a question.
I mean, usually when someone wants a logo design, they would want you to show them what you can do, before they even start to talk about giving you the money, or so how does that work with your for 80% or 70%?
Yeah, so most of my clients are from social media and referrals as well. So I believe before you come to me, you might have seen what I do before you contact me in the first place. Because I don't go searching for clients. If they want my service, that's why they came to me. And I have my portfolio online. I have works I share on Facebook, Instagram, and Dribble, Behance, and stuff. So probably they see before they contact me to do something for them. So I believe you already know what you're coming in for. You don't expect me to do a logo design for you before you pay me money. I don't do that.
I see. How about you?
Yeah, pricing used to be an issue. For a very long time, it was an issue until very recently. But what I do is that, first of all, like my brother said, he doesn't go for the client. The client comes to him for the work. So I got to the realization that if the client comes to me for the work, they need my service. I am in the driver's seat to give them the terms of payment that they have to go by, because they need my service. And my service, this is how we do things. We don't do it your way. It's like when you are going to buy something, let's say you are going to buy a car from a dealership. They have their terms of payment for the car. You don't go with your terms of payment for the car. So I go by the same mindset. You are coming for my service. You go by my terms in terms of how it will be paid and all that.
Very straight to the point. Thank you very much. So I mean, this is an interesting one. I don't know if this is the same issue that you have, especially with the upfront payment. Now, when you've asked for 70% upfront and you deliver the design, how does that, how long does it take to get your 30% or your remainder after you've delivered the service?
Okay, so funny enough, like I say, I have personal policies, and my policy is normally I even take 100% before I start work. Yes, I do. So basically, I'm very selective of my clients. Not that I don't want to serve. You see, I just sometimes just feel like you want me to solve a problem for you. My problem too is the money. So it's like we are solving each other's problem. So we solve mine. Okay, you came to me like Ohene said. So you just send me my payment and let me get the job done for you. Okay, so basically per my policy, I think the least I've taken as percentage wise is 80% for a job to be done. And for the 20%, I realized that sometimes you have to chase clients. When they need a job, they chase you. You get a job, you start chasing them. So it started looking like Vows Day and Pregnancy Day. Vows Day, the man chases the ladies. Pregnancy Day, the ladies chases the guy. And this helter-skelter becomes very, very, very frustrating and stuff. So right now, there are even clients that are still owing me. I'll be mentioning names very soon, so that wherever this video gets, they know they're still owing me. They have to come and pay. So it's really a very hard.
Relax.
Oh no, but I mean, this is a very frank conversation. I mean, you have a business to run, and once you've actually served the customer, it's important that you do get your fair deal with as little effort as possible. Now, do you lose clients because of this? Because if you're asking me to give you 100% of the payments and I've not seen anything other than what you put on the page, do you not lose clients? And aren't you worried that you'll be losing a very good chunk of your clientele? That had God.
Okay, so basically, okay.
I think Roshan should answer it based on the question being from his submission.
So, like I said, I have personal policies. I prefer working with clients that understand my policy. Okay, because when they come to me, they want me to understand their problem. And for me to understand the problem, you also have to understand my policy. It's vice versa. So you can't expect me to understand your problem when you can't respect my policy. So it's sometimes you lose them. And I prefer losing the clients than rather working, because I've worked for clients before, then the pride, like taking the money becomes a problem. Because at that time, there weren't any system to help us. And I'm sure very soon we'll be all happy in the moment to come. But I know I've lost clients because of this decision, but I prefer being you respecting my policy whilst I'm also understanding your problem and helping you solve it. So it's kind of vice versa, sure.
Okay, to add to what he said, I think okay, nowadays I take 100% before I work, but it wasn't always that. It wasn't always the case. There was a point in time where I had to do the 50-50 split work, and then they pay the other 50 after the work and all that. And I think when you do the work, do not submit the work. Submit a rough draft of the work, as in, use your phone, snap a picture on your screen, and even on that picture, edit that picture, put a sample on it. Let them know that you are done with the work, but they are not getting the work before you get the remainder of your money. Because there were certain instances where I did the work, I trusted the client would pay the remainder of the money. And one mistake we shouldn't make is trust the clients to pay the remainder of them. No matter who the client is, you have to stick by your policy of not giving them the work before they pay you the remainder. So I think as you go on, you would get to the point where you would get to have to, you can reject clients because they can't pay 100% upfront, or because right now you've gotten to that um, level where you don't really care about which clients you lose because you are constantly getting clients because of the level of work you do. So before that, I think when you are taking the 50-50, you have to be mindful of how you deliver to the client so that they don't end up cheating you.
Wow. Nee, is that the same thing for you, Clement? Is that
Yeah, that is the same thing.
okay? So how do you manage it? Because I can't imagine how you do corporate branding. I don't see how you would be able to write sample all over your artwork, and how that affects
Yeah, so
what you want the customer to see. Mm.
what I normally do is I create like let's say screenshots of the logo I've designed and send it to the client. I don't send the actual AI file or whatever software I designed the logo with, the original file to the client. I just send shots of what I've done, maybe on an artboard with a lower resolution and send it to the client. So that's what I normally do. So after you pay,
Which itself is
yeah, it's a risk, but you can't run from it. Like you have to do it. That's what, before the
Collateral
client,
damage.
yes. Before the client is going to pay the rest of the money, at least he or she should see what you've done. So definitely you have to send, and you have to convince the client. So probably never you send the shots. But mind you, I'm going to see you if I see my logo somewhere else without you paying me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to see you.
I was saying that when you feel like this client is not someone, or you generally, when a client comes to you, prepare sort of like a contract, a rough draft of a contract, to give to them to sort of like sign, even though it is not very official. You make them feel like it is something that can come back to bite them if they don't do what they are supposed to do. Sometimes scare them a little with diplomatic stuff.
I like that.
That's one day.
But the funny thing too is clients have come to understand that this perception that designers don't really have that much money. The court alone, I'm not sure, they have this mentality we can't afford them. So even with all these legalities and stuff, let's say if the client has more money than you, designer end up wasting lots of money. As well in that process, that's if you even stand a chance of winning. The hardest part of our job is the idea development. And let's say you did the logo, then you wrote samples and sent a screenshot. Now the client has an idea of where you are arriving at. They can give it to somebody who can take lower to trace the logo out. Yeah. So see, we don't have security. Apart from you saying that, okay, let me risk, I'm taking 100%, let me risk, whether you're coming for me, fine, you're not coming, fine. We don't have any form of security. Nothing guarantees that the client is going to pay you unless the client has self-dignity or something. But apart from that, a client who is saying that he won't pay you after a job is submitted, won't pay you. He or she won't. Nothing guarantees your money, nothing.
Yeah. That's interesting. So I'm hearing something very interesting from all that you're saying. A number of things. One is that you don't really need the cash, the 50% initially, other than for the guarantee that the person will pay and the person is serious about what they've come to you for. Is that right? Or is it that you need the cash? Sometimes you need the cash to do something, to buy an input to the, to the design. Because I mean, I'm just taking from what you said, Desplo. Your work is more intellectual, and you have to, rack your brains. Is it that, I don't know, sometimes you take a holiday on the beach or something, so you get more ideas, or which is why you need the 50% up front, or you really need the 50% just as a guarantee? Because the two are different problems.
Sure. So basically, it's very dependent and it varies. But sometimes I think our main problems as designers is we having the hope and the confidence that at the end of the toil and the fighting in our heads, we're going to get the money. I think most of our designers take the money not because sometimes it's not like we need the money desperately, but we know that if we don't take it, we are at risk. Even the 70% come in crowd, like there's a commitment. Crowd, the 30, they are running with it. They imagine 100%, nothing deposited. You are dead. A car be fee. You're really dead. So basically, if we had this assurance, we are dealing with human beings, and you can't, like as God was saying, trust. Okay, trust. And somebody having a problem, the way he approaches you is different from when the problem is solved. Sometimes when you are even talking to them, like when you are asking for payment, they become very offensive. Very offensive. They become very offended that you're even asking them for payment, like you're pressuring them. Now you just stand awake, you're asking for your money. Like, I don't know if my colleagues have had that kind of experience before. So if you're going through something like that, it will make you very tough and be like, hey, I'm taking my 100. You either take it or you leave it. I know I'll do my job. I just need my money. I just need to get the whole 100%. And I have the assurance that my money is paid to me. Then the rest becomes our problem to solve. Sure.
Interesting. Clemens, the way you are smiling widely, it looks like you really have something to say about this as well. Let's hear you.
I normally take my 70%. Normally, it's for motivation. Like once morale. Like for motivation. Like once the 70% lands in your hand, you're like, wow, this client is really serious. So it will really motivate you to come up with good stuff. And when the person hasn't paid anything, you're doing shadow work, like, what, let me just do some one-to-one for this client. I don't know if you're going to pay, because even at the beginning, pay 70%, they're like, it's just let me finish the loan before I pay. It's going to motivate you to come up with something nice. So that 70% here to motivate. So when the client is able to pay that 70%, you're sure, this client, he's a good client, so he come up with something nice for the person. That's why I normally take upfront.
I see. That had God. Shall we hear you?
Yeah, so I think the taking a percentage upfront is mostly for guarantee purposes, to guarantee that even if the client doesn't end up paying, at least you have some amount there that you can at least use to console yourself, that at least you've gotten some money from the work, other than not getting anything at all. Because there's a case where here in our country, most clients don't want to, first of all, pay you before the work is done. So taking 100%, most of them don't like to pay it before the work is done. They would rather want to pay it after. And I think that's a major reason why a lot of these splits are done, to guarantee that I get a percentage before I do the work, and then I get the rest. You get your work, and then we are done. So I think it's more or less for a guarantee that I get paid for the work, kind of thing. I mean, when I was doing the splits, what was mostly in my mind when I was doing this is that the 50% I'm taking before the work is for, it's like you're paying me for the process of the work, and then the remaining 50 is for paying for the finished product, kind of thing. So like the 50 was for like the time I am putting inside the work, and the 50 is for like you are paying for the finished product after I'm done, kind of thing. Like that was a mindset I was using when I was doing the 50-50.
Wonderful. Now, that it leads. I like this conversation because it leads to just the one thing that I really want us to talk about, which is a solution secure. Now, it's a platform that enables you to receive your payments for designs in a very fast and secure way. Now, how does it work? This solution actually then enables you to get the 100% of your bill, rather than. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes. So this is a very interesting one. Now, what if I told you that there is a platform that actually enables you to get 100% payment from your customers even before you start the job, and also helps the customers. No, I mean, it doesn't come to you directly. So then there's the two sides are happy. The customer is happy because at least he's shown you that you have the 100%, he has 100% to pay, but he doesn't get to give you the money directly until you've done the job. And you also can see your 100%, so you don't have to wait, and you don't have to chase. So once you are done with the design and you deliver it, all the customer needs to do is to approve that they've received it, and then you receive the 100%. How does such a platform sound to you? Desplo.
Well, I honestly, I think I needed to wear white today. Maybe 2 whites, down whites, then get some shoe whites. But it's just hallelujah. It's a very big hallelujah for designers, in fact, because this time around, I can get a job and even go and maybe credit food and eat. At least I know that I'll get my money and come and pay. Not that I'm doing the job and I'll be chasing the client throughout. At least there's this guarantee, there's this assurance. Okay, I love Gobe, really love Gobe. So basically, I know that once there's a platform like that, I can go credit Gobe, then know that at the end of the day, I'll get my money. Like you said, 100%, right?
Yeah.
100%. Yes, it's hallelujah. It's like Sunday, I'll go to church. Like I'll go to church Sunday. I'll go.
Meaning that you don't go to church.
At the bed.
That's what he's trying to say. He doesn't go to church.
That's good. How about you? How does that sound to you?
I think it sounds amazing. I think it gives the guarantee to both parties. I mean, the client knows that if he pays the 100% and the work doesn't get done, the 100% gets back to him. And the designer knows that the client has already paid the 100%. All that is needed to do right now is to do the work, submit it, and I get my money. So I think it's like the perfect platform for designers because it makes it a lot more easier. I mean, for both the designer and the client. So yeah, it's a very, very, very awesome innovation.
Wow. Clement.
Of course. I don't even know what to say. Like, I've always wanted something like this, like for quite a long time now. Like, this thing is actually going to clear out that trust issue. That's that trust thing that people want to see your work before they actually pay the money. This thing is going to solve that problem.
Wow.
Because I you just have to send the money to me. I haven't gotten the money to you. After I deliver what I'm supposed to deliver to you, then you guys are going to release the money to me.
I see. Now, I can't wait to tell all of us about this. So if you have your phone by you, you can dial *718#. *718#. And you choose, a menu will pop up and you choose option 2. That is move secure. Option 2, *718#. And then you dial 2. you enter 2, which is to select Move Secure. Now, this is the tool or the solution that we have for you this evening. And it's something that you can get all your clients to start using. So even the ones that come to you and do not want to give you that full money, the 70%, just tell them to make the payment there. They don't have to touch it. I mean, you can't touch it until you've done the job and they have approved. But then you would know that they can pay. How does that sound for you? I mean, I think that hearing everything you've said, and we're so much more convinced that this is actually a solution that would help you very, very much. You know, and you mentioned about how much business sometimes you lose, you know, which you don't even realize. And the good thing is, you as a merchant can actually view all your payments, all the transactions that have come through. You know, it has a menu that allows you to see that. Some people are asking some questions, so I would ask. We would pause briefly and then take those questions, and then we come back to the answers. I think Emmanuel Asari has asked a question. He said, "What if a client pulls back the money after the vendor is done?" The way the system works is that you as a client can pull your money back easily. When you pull it back, you have to give a reason, and the vendor has to approve. So imagine that I am, let's say, let me take, well, GQ Arts, and you've given me money, let's say 1,000 cedis or, you know, whatever amount it is, and it's on Move Secure. Once I deliver the job and you actually reject it, which is to decline it, it will come to me and I'll have to approve. If I don't approve, I enter into another platform, which is a online dispute resolution, you know, where we have to talk about why you have declined it. So the beauty of it is just you know, indescribable, because we have thought about all these scenarios where even when I as a supplier do not finish your job, but I dubiously go and say I have provided the service, you as a customer can also enter into a dispute with me, and we have to resolve it. You know, so it is. I mean, I hope that answers your question, Emmanuel. Sorry. So we've thought about this, and we want to make sure that both sides to the party are happy. I think there were just a few others that had asked another question. Now, that's an interesting one. Emmanuel, sorry, you're actually asking the questions I want to answer. Does Move get a percentage? At the moment, Move Secure transactions are free. They are absolutely free. That is the sweetener that you have. You as a vendor would get the ability to monitor your transactions. You will be able to literally hold on to payments, and this dispute resolution process happens all on our ticket. So it's absolutely free, and we encourage you to give it a try. The good thing is that all of our panelists are already Move Secure merchants. So they have their merchant codes, and if you want to transact business with them, you can actually do so as well. Post a few last words from our, okay, there's how secured is this method? Wow, that's a very, so there's a question from Wigglesworth, Samuel Kwabna and so on. How secured is this? We do not come into your wallet, and we do not come into your account. And there's no way, you know, mobile money transactions are very, very safe. And you're not supposed to give your PIN to anyone. We don't have access to your PIN. We don't have access to your account. So whatever money it is that you send through Move Secure, we can't just touch it, you know, and no one else can touch it. It's very, very secure. That's why we've been careful with the naming, Move Secure. You know, the supplier can't touch it. No one pays us a bribe and someone gets the money. Now, how do you get a merchant code? Just get in touch with us. You can also go to our website, movesecuregh.com, and then you can sign up. It's a very, very simple platform to follow. At any point in time, we would also share the flyers so that you would know how to go about it. Now, how's the transfer? Kweku Blaze is asking, how's the transfer of money into our accounts, bank transfer or Momo? At the moment, it's Momo. At the moment, the transfer is done via Momo. And we are looking, we're actually aggressively entering that space where that's arena where you'll be able to transfer to your accounts. Coming to you very soon. Oh, well, someone asked, do we have an app? Yes, we do have an app. Currently, it's available on Android, and it's the Move app. The good thing is, the Move solution itself allows you to do so much more than just the Move Secure. Although this conversation is mainly about Move Secure. On Move, you can transfer airtime to various networks. You can send money to various networks as well from your app. And then you're actually able to pay your bills, various supplies. And then there's this beautiful feature which you don't get anywhere else than on the Move app and on *718#. We promise that we'll take just about 1 hour of your time, and our time is unfortunately up. It's been a very, very engaging session, and our heartfelt gratitude goes to each panelist. Ohiming, Clement, we're grateful. Bernard, we're grateful that you could make it. We have 60. At some points, we had overshare with you. That's so my colleague would actually just share it with all of us, and you can enjoy it. You can also like our pages, our social media handles, Move Secure Ghana on Twitter, on Instagram, and then on Facebook as well. So officially, it's a bye-bye, and thank you very much from the Move Secure team. Remember to dial *718# and select option 2. You can WhatsApp us, however, on this number. You can take it down, 055 82 555 74. I'll repeat it. 055 82 555 74.
Want to send and receive payments for your goods the secure way? Here's how. Dial *718#. Select Move Secure. Select Make Payment. Enter the merchant code or phone number. Select Network and enter amount. Enter product or service description. Confirm details. Enter your 4-digit PIN. You receive an SMS of the payment details to the merchant. You can dial *718*8# to confirm or deny receipt.